Get it and flip it, I did it off the 9. Stay in the kitchen, I'm never off of mine. And now I'm Kemp in his prime. Get it and flip it, we did it off the 9. Stay in the kitchen, I'm never off.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back. It has been a long 4 months. Well, actually, it hasn't felt that long, but it's been 4 months. Ball Don't Lie's back, man. This is episode 166. As usual, it's your guys, Scott and Dante, man. You know to follow us on Twitter and Instagram at Barberchair Scott, at October's on Tay. Follow the Barberchair Network on Twitter and Instagram at Barberchair Net. Subscribe to the Patreon, patreon.com/Barberchair Network. Of course, the different tiers, $5 tier, $10 tier. We got a new cinema with the guys up right now. There will be a new summer sessions up by the time that you are listening to this. So check all of that shit out. Visit thebcnet.com. The Barber's Chair shop is coming real soon. 4 months have gone past. The NBA is back. I personally not ready for basketball right now. I'm really only here because I have a fucking basketball podcast to do. In fact, before we came on here, me and Dante were talking about schemes I'm trying to put up to not pay for League Pass right now. So, but we're here. Last night, or Wednesday night, because you'll be hearing this Tuesday night, because you'll be hearing this on Thursday, was opening night in the NBA. I feel like this one's a little earlier than usual. The Philadelphia 76ers opened up on the road against the Boston Celtics. The Golden State Warriors got their rings and beat down over the Los Angeles Lakers. So we're going to talk about all that and more. We're going to give our predictions, who we think is going to be all the award winners, what we think all the standings will be, like what team at the playoffs would it be the play-in. And we're going to give our way too early and probably wrong NBA Finals picks today, man. But first, Dante, how you feeling? New season. How we feeling?
I'm feeling solid, G. New season, new bandwagon. I'm done with the Bulls. We're gonna get into that, but no, I'm solid, bro. Actually, being down here in Atlanta, it's a lot of excitement around the Hawks this season to see what they're gonna do. Even though I think
it shouldn't be that much excitement.
I'm saying it's still a wait and see approach, but you see they extended DeAndre Hunter, and then they really put that team together. They just acquired DeJounte Murray. That's his name, right? Yeah, I don't want to fuck it up. DeJounte, they got him. And so seeing what they can do, because, he was very solid for the Spurs, but now coming into a completely different system and playing a different type of ball. But, with Trae Young, it's going to be an exciting team. Collins, the whole squad they got. But, it's going to be waiting to see. But I'm excited for the NBA season. I know the first, few weeks are going to be much like opening night, very mediocre. So I'm bracing for that.
The NFL ain't great right now either, and I'm gonna get on that. I'm not gonna hold you. It's very bad football being played right now. I'm not that high on the Hawks. We'll get into our East standings later. I'm not one of the people who I didn't love this. I get the DeJounte Murray move. Nobody's coming to Atlanta as a free agent, so I'm not mad at the move. I'm just not. Doesn't really move the needle for me personally, but we'll get into our standings later. But over here in Los Angeles, it's DEFCON 5 because of the Los Angeles Lakers last night, which, of course, everybody should have been expecting. And the team that I cover, Los Angeles Clippers, that it's looking like it could be a good season. Then we'll get into the Clippers. Kawhi will be playing for the first time in almost a year and a half. Of course, I will be live from Staples Center at the home opener on Sunday night against the Phoenix Suns. They opened up actually today when you're hearing the stuff today against the Lakers, but that's a road game. I can't go to those, which is hilarious because it's the same fucking building. But I will be at the home opener on Sunday. So there's a lot of optimism for the Clippers. Kawhi had a funny quote when they asked him, did he watch the Lakers Warriors game? He said, nah, I don't really watch basketball, which is hilarious because I fuck with Kawhi. Once he leaves work, he don't really fuck with anything that's work related. You know what I'm saying? And also, he was at the Padre game. In game 1. So as we're recording this, the Padres are not looking good right now. We don't know by the time when you listen to this, maybe them niggas came back. Maybe they didn't. But right now it's 4-0. I think they're cooked. But the Phillies got a little, team of destiny vibe to me right about now. But this is not a baseball podcast. This is basketball. And it hit me the other day why I'm just not excited for the NBA. And this is the funny thing because I think this is the most parity we're ever going to see in the NBA. Like ever. Like there's, Reggie Miller said last night 9 teams to win the NBA championship. I don't think 9, but I do think there's a legit 6 teams that you talk me into hoisting that Larry O.B. in mid-June. And so that's way better than before. And, I do think talent-wise, strictly off individual talent, this is the most talent the NBA has ever had. So there's stuff to do. But I realized the other day that when I was a kid, NBA used to be my shit. Like, it was my favorite fucking sport. Like, it was the time I really didn't give a fuck about football, baseball. It was NBA, NBA, NBA. I feel once Derrick Rose got injured, my care for the NBA kind of gets lower and lower each year.
Yeah, G. When you really have when you have an actual team that's your team, that's who you root for, and they consistently weak as fuck, it definitely takes a lot of the fun out of it. So, especially with unfortunate shit like that. Because I remember, bro, like every time I heard holding on to his knee and down, like G, like my stomach would start hurting because it's like it was really crazy, what we saw and what we expected, especially like we always say, watching bro from high school up, like actually, seeing the rise and everything. So, when that happens to you, I feel the same way. Even though, like you said, we do, like, I know I cover baseball, so baseball is always my first love anyway. So it may be boring as hell, but like a lot of times I can sit through at a baseball game, at a basketball game. I got to be like doing something else. You know what I'm saying? Like, because the product, like you said, hasn't been what it used to be, even despite all the talent it has. So I can get it when you say that.
Yeah, and it's also like, to me, it's just like I just don't care. You know what I'm saying? Like, and one thing I've noticed too, and me and my brother was talking about this the other day, because on Sunday the Bears didn't play, and I was texting him about the other games was going on. He said, "Man, I ain't watching that shit." And I'm like, "Why you ain't watching it? Like, you fucking love football." And he's like, "Man, since covering it, I don't be feeling like watching football in my free time sometimes." And I understand that, sometimes I gotta turn the sports off. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes I need to watch some other shit. Like, if it's a bad game, I'm not watching. Like, the NFL is different. NFL is my obsession. Like I said, NFL is a bad product right now. I'll get more into that on. I'm not gonna hold you, but I can still watch a shitty football game. To me, football is like pizza. Football is like pizza and sex sometimes. Even when it's bad, still good.
I miss
still
pizza,
bad,
bro.
Still good.
I came out. I live in Atlanta. I don't get a lot of pizza anymore just because.
I live in California. The best thing we have here is fucking Domino's, nigga. You know what I'm saying?
I'm so tired of the disappointment because it's a lot of places down here. Like I told you, they got the fake. Well, not fake. I'm gonna say they just Chicago themed restaurant. So like,
I know how that is. Like, the best pizza I had, like, that wasn't like a franchise here. Shout out my man. I think his name is Angelo. I think it's Angelo, right? Yeah. But anyway, I think it's Angelo. It's in Westwood. And they had like this pizza place right next to in UCLA area, right next to this FedEx I used to work at. And this place has actually been on Curb Your Enthusiasm. It was an episode where Larry got pulled over for grabbing too many napkins. And the owner in real life does have a problem with you grabbing mad napkins. But I used to come there all the damn time because it's a New York pizza. This dude was from New York, and so he had like a New York pizza recipe. That's the best pizza I've had in LA. You know what I'm saying? And so that has been kind of good. But besides that, shit is trash. This is gonna be a fucking shootout because it's 4-2 Phillies. Back-to-back home runs. Drury and Josh Bell. This is gonna be a fucking shootout. But so it's like I said, like NBA is like NFL. Even if it's a bad game, I can watch.
I just want to say, hold on 1 second. Hold off on the comments because your shit is definitely ahead of mine.
Oh, my bad. That nigga ain't hit the home run yet.
No, well, he just hit that motherfucker.
You watching it on streaming or cable?
Streaming.
Oh, that's why. That's why.
Yeah, I got YouTube. I got YouTube TV.
Nah, I paid the $5. I can't stream.
At this point, as much as you stream, you might as well.
I can't stream live sports. I can't do it because you're always a player two behind. Like, if I have to, like, with some stuff I don't have a choice, like with League Pass or like Sunday Ticket, I don't have a choice. But if that shit is like national, I'm not folding, bro. I can't be 2-3 plays behind, and I be texting with niggas, and niggas like, "Oh, you saw that play?" No, I didn't. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, I would no longer comment on this game in here. But anyway, like with NFL, I can watch a bad NFL game. Thursday night football is gonna be Cardinals Saints. That's gonna be a bad game. I'm gonna watch all 4 quarters. Even the good NBA games, I tune out sometimes. and I just don't know what it is. I just tune out, and there's great talent. And I also think the coverage of the NBA just makes me not care about the sport. There's some good podcasts. You know, I'm gonna be biased. We got a good podcast.
Yeah.
And I actually think on TV, I think NBA Today is an actual good NBA show. Like I gotta give credit to Malik Andrews and everybody over there. I think they put together a real good basketball product on compared to the Jump. With a Jump, feel like it was NBA TMZ, and I feel like the coverage of the NBA and you mix it with NBA Twitter, and it's you have the most unknowledgeable fans. Like, you know, them wrong. There's bad fans in the NFL. We see it every day. People with these screenshot Twitter, acting like they know about reads and shit. But at least I feel like in football, you have to have a general understanding of the game. And basketball, just niggas think just they can pick up a ball and walk to LA Fitness that they know everything about football. And then, I mean, about basketball, every nigga think they can hoop. So I think that's part of why it's a harder game to watch. But it's also because it's the beginning of the season. It's a lot of fucking games. I don't really lock in until after the Super Bowl. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That's really what it's about. Like, I really only watch Bulls games and national TV games during that time. And honestly, I'm not even gonna be watching that many goddamn Bulls games this year. We're gonna get into that in a minute. But by the way, scheduling for Ball Don't Lie and Third Pick podcast is the Bulls podcast hosted by me and my man Mariano. If you haven't caught our season preview podcast, check it out now. We were joined by Bulls pre and post game host Jason Goff. I think all three of us painted a realistic picture of what this Bulls season is going to be like. So if you want more in-depth Bulls conversation, check it out. But Ball Don't Lie Third Pick will be dropping bi-weekly until after the Super Bowl. After the Super Bowl is over, then it will be weekly Ball Don't Lie and Third Pick. But it's just, you know, it's no reason to be doing this shit weekly. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, let's talk about opening night. Last night, the two teams who were in the 2022 NBA Finals, of course, the defending champion, Golden State Warriors, and Eastern Conference champion Boston Celtics hosted both games last night. The champs got their rings, their banners. They hosted the Los Angeles Lakers, and the Celtics hosted the Philadelphia 76ers. Now, before we get to stats and, you know, our opinions on this game, both of these teams had a lot of drama this offseason. Of course, we know about the Draymond situation going on with the Warriors. Really was the only drama this year, but it was a massive story. Wiggins and Poole getting their contract extensions a couple days ago, and we know about all the hell the Celtics that went through. The whole Ime Udoka situation, signing Danilo Gallinari, he tears his ACL, he's out for the entire season.
Yeah.
They Robert Williams, he's gonna miss the first couple months of the season. They've done a lot of stuff too, but I think both teams last night both established dominance. I think the Warriors came out like, look, man. Now, granted, it's the Lakers. The Lakers are ass. But the Warriors look like a well-oiled machine. And the Celtics, despite all the drama that they have, this is still a good basketball team with Jaylen Brown and Jason Tatum. To me, I don't know about you, but it kind of felt like Jaylen and Jason they came out on some personal shit. Like, yo, fuck the Sixers, nigga. Fuck all these other niggas you talking about in the East. We trying to get back to the finals. And of course, it's one of 82, but I felt a sense of mission from the Celtics last night. And I actually forgot they picked up Malcolm Brogdon. He looked pretty good last night too. What was your overall thoughts on first two games last night?
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it was basically they went as I expected. Like the teams that have just, I don't want to say basically better talent, because Philadelphia is a really talented basketball team. But the better teams won. I think, like you said, when you have two players like Jaylen and Jason, like that's what you want in this league today. You want two, 6'5", 6'7". Well, when they both like 6'5", 6'6", whatever.
I'd say Jaylen probably about 6'6", 6'5". Tatum is a legit 6'7".
Yeah. So you got two wings. They can score the ball and defend, and that's what they do well. And you throw in Marcus Smart, who, he probably won't win Defensive Player of the Year again, but he won it last season. So, you have a lockdown defender on the perimeter. It's mixing him with those two. And then you have what they do on the offensive side of the ball. So, seeing them both go out and get 35, like, you're not going to get that every night, but, they have the potential to do that. So, like, we already know a lot of this is like, I don't want to say, well, we are. We waiting for, the playoffs and seeing how they do that in a 7-game series. And, that's, a long time from now. But, opening night, it was pretty much what I expected. Like you said, the Lakers. Half the time I was like, who the hell is this on the floor?
Yeah,
But
dead ass. When I asked who was playing shooting guard, I wasn't trolling. I was dead ass. I was like,
and Robert Pelinka got an extension, bro. It was at one point I saw LeBron.
We gonna get into the Lakers in a minute.
It was like at one point I saw LeBron on the floor with 3 white people. I said, "Oh no, this is no good. This ain't gonna work. This ain't gonna work." Rob Pelinka deserves jail time.
I mean, look, man. Any thoughts on awards before we get into the actual shit show that is Los Angeles Lakers?
Yeah, well, I mean, the Warriors, bro. I mean, that Draymond shit is unfortunate that the video leaked. I hope they fired whoever did it because I mean, certain shit should stay in house. That's something you say for the documentary after the Dynasty. You feel me? You throw that in there. That would have been fire. But to leak that to TMZ for whatever money they got, that shit was trash. But that long as Steph Curry and Klay Thompson are back, like we always said last year, getting year 2 Klay off the injuries, how is he going to respond? And I think he's really going to go crazy. Like, I think, the Warriors are the Warriors. Jordan Poole got his money. Andrew Wiggins got his money.
Wiggins is good, bro. I'm very happy for Andrew Wiggins.
Putting somebody in a system, KD is obviously a greater talent, but putting somebody in that system where it takes the pressure off of them, you're not the guy.
Bro, he had 20 points last night, and he didn't feel like it.
Do your job, and that's what he does. He come to work every night. And he got a bag too. And they had that video in the locker room after they won the championship saying we gonna get a bag, and they both got their bag. And it's like you said, I know the Lakem. I'm sorry, he don't have a problem paying a luxury tax, but I don't think they're gonna extend Draymond. So like we said, the writing's on the wall with that. But I mean, the Warriors are the Warriors, bro. You got Steph, you got Klay. They're gonna be solid. Stay healthy.
Man.
That's all they gotta do. Stay healthy.
They just, man, I gotta give a shout out. I envy people who are fans of teams with good front offices. It's just that's why I understand when Michael Jordan got mad at Jerry Cross for saying front offices win championships, but he wasn't lying. Now obviously I understand why Mike got mad because Jerry Cross was saying this to spite Jordan and the players. So the motivation behind it, I understand why he was upset. But the nigga wasn't wrong. Nigga wasn't wrong whatsoever. And you have an owner who said from day one that they're gonna spend money. You know what I'm saying? They said that we're gonna do what we gotta do to win the championship. And they win not only one, they win 4, and it don't look like they slowing down anytime soon. They just revamped. To me, they're doing a better version of what the Spurs did when they added Kawhi to the big 3 they had of Tim Duncan, Manu Ginobili, and Tony Parker. I think they're doing an even better job of that, and that's going to be something that's going to give them even more longevity. And to me, as a Chicago sports fan, I envy that. But let's talk about probably the most popular franchise most popular franchise in basketball, a top 2 most popular franchise in sports, the Los Angeles Lakers. I live right here in Laker County, in the middle of Laker County. And this thing about the Lakers, man, and I said this 2 years ago, I know a lot of Laker fans because I live here, but I also know a lot of Chicago Laker fans. You niggas make me want to fucking vomit, specifically my cousin. But
I mean, a lot of us is Kobe fans, Jay. So I mean,
there's difference between being a Kobe fan and being a Laker fan. I'm a Kobe fan too. I got a picture of this nigga in my room right now. I was a diehard Kobe fan, but I've always been a belief of you can have a team and a favorite player. You know what I'm saying? These niggas is legit Lakers, like wearing Lakers shit. That's just nasty. And a lot of them don't even know what LA Live look like. They ain't even been here before. You know what I'm saying? And it's no coincidence that the Cowboys fans and Duke fans too and Yankee fans.
Yeah, I was about to say, I am one of those niggas. Like I do have Lakers shit,
Yeah, I can't fold.
But
I don't care how much my teams piss me off. I can't.
Fuck the Bulls. Fuck the Bulls.
I feel you. I can't do it. I can't do it. I unless I have a Dodger hat because I live here, but you will never see me wearing a jersey.
I say
any
this.
team that's not mine.
I survived a snowstorm in Salt Lake City to see Kobe play the fucking Jazz, so niggas can't tell me nothing. So
hey man,
I earned that goddamn.
Hey nigga, I had the first Kobe's. I'll never buy. Actually, that's a lie. I have a Kobe jersey in my closet right now. What the fuck am I talking about?
Of course you do. Of course you do.
I have a rookie year. I have a rookie year. I forgot about that. So fuck everything I just said. I do have a rookie year Kobe in my closet right now. But point of thing, this thing I said about the Lakers 2 fucking years ago, where actually not 2 years ago, it was a year ago. When they traded for Russell Westbrook and everybody got excited. And I was the lone nigga, and I got into it with a lot of my homies who were Laker fans. Shout out my nigga Rashad. We went at it. And I was like, the nigga don't match with the Lakers. And everybody keeps saying, "Oh, you a LeBron hater." I am. I've documented. I've never said I was not a LeBron James hater. I hate LeBron James. It makes my teeth white when I say I hate LeBron James. You will never get me to deny that. But I'm talking from a basketball perspective. I can move my LeBron hate and be real about the team. I said Russell Westbrook, and I still don't think Russell Westbrook is a bad player now. Y'all can't convince me that Russell's a bad player. He's a bad fit. What does Russ need to be Russell Westbrook? Two things he needs. He needs the ball in his hands and needs shooters around him. Neither one of those things happen here in the Lakers. Like, there's no shooters around him or Bron. That's actually the main problem with all three of them. With Bron, with AD, and with Russ. All three of them need shooters. If you look on paper, all three of them didn't have a bad game. Now there was still parts of the game where it's like Russ didn't know what the hell he was doing. A lot of LeBron stats was stat padding when the game was over. Stat pad, chasing Kareem, that we all know what that shit's going to be. There's going to be a lot of nights where they getting drummed, and this nigga's got 35. It just is what it is. But they don't have a good system around them, and LeBron has been known to be a player who needs the ball in his hand. That's why he's never really played with a real point guard before. Kyrie is a shooting guard. He's a point guard who plays too. So that's why that thing meshed. Russell Westbrook, in order to be Russell Westbrook, needs the ball in his hand. It didn't work last year, and it's not going to work this year. It's all on Rob Pelinka. This is shitty management of this. We've known since day one for 20 years. How do you maximize LeBron? Put shooters around him. These niggas went like 10 for 45 and 3 last night.
Yeah, I'm about to say, bro, like you said, like at the end of the day, I feel like the biggest lie ever told in LeBron James' career is he gonna play off ball. Like, no, he's not.
No, he's not.
It's never happened. People always say it, and we mention these players. It's based off name that we think should go play with LeBron. Even when, like, I know, he's pretty much a sixth man now. But even when the Cavs got D Rose, everybody like, oh yeah, here we go. Like, no, it's not. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna work out like that. That's so. I'm with you, bro. Like, a lot of people tried to criticize it, but we've been saying from the jump, like, it's not that Russ is bad. It's just that he doesn't fit with LeBron. Like, and that's okay. There's nothing wrong. And like, you would have thought that they would have tried to move him. I still think they might. But what I don't like is, we've always known Russ to be a competitor, and he out there copping pleas, saying, I didn't start. That's why I tweaked my hamstring. I'm like, okay, bro.
Russ is like, he said he messed his hamstring up because he came off the bench, and that to me is going to be a big thing here. Like, he's not coming off the bench. And I feel like, and I don't think I think him coming off the bench will help a little bit because he won't be playing as many minutes as LeBron. But this is why it don't really matter, because the end of the game, you're going to want him on the same court as LeBron. You pay him all this money, you need to be on the court in the game. So it doesn't really help long term regardless. This is a bad team. Like, when I sat up here and I put together my standings for the Western Conference, like, in my head before I wrote it down, I was like, oh, the Lakers are probably like a 6 or 7 seed. Then I started putting the teams in front. Look, man, this team is 9th or 10th. And that's if healthy, bro. This is a bad team. And I'm going to say this to Rob Pelinka. You have to trade Russell Westbrook now. And it's not because I believe that Russ isn't a good player. He's just not a good player for this team. Now, we all know, I guess like the feeling in the industry is that there's a trade out there for Russell Westbrook to Indiana for Buddy Hield and Miles Turner. Now, I don't know if this is something where the Lakers can just do it at whatever time they want, or Indiana's like, oh, okay, we want y'all to give up them 2 first rounders too, which I'm pretty sure that's the situation, because if it wasn't, that trade would have been done right now. So here's the thing, and this is why it's fucked up for them. So you're going to give up those 2 first rounders unprotected. And I understand trading them because, LeBron committed for a couple more years. You want to get the best out of LeBron while he's here. I understand. I'm never really tripping on the draft picks. But it's not like Miles Turner and Buddy Hield are world beaters. You know what I'm saying? Let's just say you do trade Russell Westbrook for them and you get them too. Okay, does that really change their standing that much? You might be able to talk me into 7th or 8th. It's not that big of a fucking deal. I don't think Miles Turner can help the Bulls like that. So I damn sure don't think he can help the Lakers. And then if you get Buddy Hield, okay, that's one nigga who can shoot. You need a couple more. So I just feel like they do need to trade them so they can at least try something else until, you don't want to waste 40 games. And then now you're already in bad seeding to fucking begin with. And now you're fighting an uphill battle. I'm already taking 30 games away from LeBron and AD as it is. I think both of them at the bare minimum are gonna miss 30. AD has never been healthy, and LeBron has not been healthy since he put on a Laker uniform. It just is what it is. So I'm expecting only 50 games for them to outvest. So even if you get them 50 games, I'm thinking only 9th or 10th seed. Like I got them maybe over Portland, but it's not a good team. There's nothing that's going to drastically change this team. I do think there's going to be a lot of assets available at the deadline because everybody's going to be tanking for Vic. I get that. They can be able to get a couple shooters for the low. But at the same time, what is that like? Does LeBron wants to win championships? When you have a LeBron James and Anthony Davis, especially just being a Laker, even without them niggas being on the team as a Lakers, it's championship or bust. Yeah. That don't put you in the Golden State, the Clippers, the Denver, the Phoenix, the Dallas. It don't put you in that realm, and that's just with health. So it's like I hate this. Actually, I don't hate to say it because I love laughing at Laker fans, but. Actually, I like laughing at LeBron fans. I don't have a beef with Laker fans. I love laughing at LeBron fans. The minute LeBron retires, I have no beef with the Los Angeles Lakers. But I just don't see how it gets better from a basketball perspective. What do you think about that?
Yeah, like I said, the roster is just poorly constructed. Like it's really a where do you go type of situation. And I agree, you got to trade Russ now because like even though like I said, we know that it's just a system mismatch, and obviously the basketball minds around the league know that. But the more you put out, these subpar performances, it's like, what does that do to his trade value? As much as it is, just a system mismatch. But as far as the Lakers, it's like you said, where do you go? It's like they're really locked in with AD and Bron, and like that's cool, but you can't rely, like you said, you can't rely on them to play heavy minutes. Like that shouldn't be the goal. Like you should have somebody else who can, relieve that pressure, or at least have the type of pieces we've seen LeBron have his entire career. You don't have enough shooting. And like that's obvious, that's why I think LeBron said that in the press conference, like letting it be known, like,
I do think LeBron is at peace with it though. LeBron is not an idiot. LeBron is a smart dude. You can't be the first playing billionaire in NBA history and be an idiot. LeBron is not stupid. I think LeBron, basketball wise, is one of the smartest basketball. He reminds me of Peyton Manning. Peyton Manning is not the GOAT. It's Tom Brady. But Peyton Manning is the smartest football mind that I can think of. He's a football savant. And I think that Bron is a basketball savant. He knows this team not winning the championship when he signed that extension. I think he knows that the championship window has passed him. That's not coming back. That window has passed him. And I think he only signed back because he wants to play with his son, which I wish Bronny the best. I just don't think he's going to be, something spectacular. But he wants to play with his son. I think he legitimately loves living in Los Angeles, and he has his businesses out here. I think this is a total business decision. I don't think he signed here thinking I'm going to win multiple championships. He knows this team isn't going to win. So I do feel like he's at peace with that part of his career. Well, if you're the Lakers and you're all about championships, and yes, they won in 2020, but I'm going to keep saying this. It's not just because I'm not a LeBron James fan. This is across the board in sports. I think the only championship that was won during the bubble years that we look at as legitimate is probably the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. The only reason I think we look at it like that is the NFL didn't follow fan rules. That Super Bowl was fucking packed, and Tom Brady wins all the goddamn time. So it's like, even if you want to take that championship away from Tom Brady, okay, he has 6. What does that fucking do? So look at the Dodgers. They lost. They just got eliminated this week. And everybody's talking about, they ain't do shit outside the bubble. And it's the same shit with the Lakers. So, yes, they won the championship, but history is not going to look fondly on these pandemic championships won across sports. And you can get mad at the messenger, but it is what it is. So they haven't even hosted. Think about it. In LeBron's fifth season, do you understand they have not hosted a full capacity playoff game of Staples Center since he's been here?
Yeah.
That's I don't think people know that. That's insane. So to me, this whole experiment is we're seeing a couple things here. Rob Pelinka gets away with murder. This nigga got an extension this year. An extension. I don't understand. Jeannie Buss, bless her heart.
Family ties.
Jeannie Buss, bless her heart. I would love for her to be my sugar mama. That's like my goal in life, to impregnate Jeannie Buss. I'm probably delete this on here later, but anyway. But
that might have to go. That might have to go.
We might have to edit that, but whatever. Anyway, the point being is that she reminds me a lot of Hal Steinbrenner. A lot of Hal Steinbrenner, because they have their fathers who were the big names. They spent money on all these people. They didn't give a fuck. You know, the boss didn't give a fuck. Jerry didn't give a fuck. They're not like their fathers. They're a little cheaper. They're not making the smartest moves. Like, there's no I don't give a fuck what the Yankees do this year. Aaron Boone should not be the manager next year. So they do these smelly stuff. This is like the 5th coach in the Jenny Bus era. These are not father's Lakers, man. And this is just, to me, it's, I don't want to call it a failure, but for Lakers fans, it's a failure.
Yeah. It's like a rudderless ship. It's like they don't know which way to go. You know, the Suns almost ran that bitch into the ground, but you know, then Jeannie took it back, and like you said, landing LeBron, winning the championship in the bubble. Yeah, like you said, that's cool, but I think it's gonna take. I don't think as we get older and you know things go on, people will look negatively on the bubble as much as they do now. They'll just chalk it up as a championship.
I think the longer it goes, the less people gonna credit it. I really do. I think in the moment people gave more credit than they do now.
Yeah. Like no, I'm saying I do think that, but at the end of the day, like it's disappointing because like I said, you know, it is the Lakers, and you always expect them to go and make the necessary moves and get the guy. Like LeBron's probably the first guy they got in a while because you remember like they swung and a miss. They swung and miss on Steve Nash. They swung and miss on Dwight Howard.
The first free agent they got since Shaq.
Yeah, like the first real, you know, big time free agent since Shaq. So.
Everything else was either homegrown or trade.
Yeah, it's gonna be shit gonna be dark in LA. It's unfortunate.
I don't want to put too much more time on these niggas. Just to my Laker homies out there, it's gonna be a long year, man. It's gonna be a long year. The Dodgers gone. The Rams look mediocre. I don't know what the hell the Kings gonna do because I don't really watch hockey like that. But get on that Clipper bandwagon.
The Chargers are the Chargers.
Yeah, man. Brandon Staley's trash. I'm gonna get into that on another show of mine, but Brandon Staley's trash. But we talk about the Warriors. You know, when you're a champion, defending champion, they on a drive for 5. They're trying to be the first franchise to win 5 championships in 10 years since, of course, the Lakers. The Lakers won from 2000 to 2010. 3 with Shaq and Kobe. 2 with Kobe and Powell. So they're trying to be the first ones to do that. Since then, they looked amazing last night. 1 of 82, of course, long season. Who do you think is the biggest threat to the Warriors repeat?
I mean, right now, because you got to go with the obvious. I mean, I say that I don't like doing what ifs in any capacity.
This is season preview shit.
yeah. Like I don't like doing. I don't like doing that at all. So I gotta say the Clippers. You know, with Kawhi 100%, he's gonna play. You know, of course, he's missed a load management, so it's a matter of seeing how many games he does play. But him being there all season, a healthy Paul George, you know, that's a very deep basketball team. So I think when you really look at the Clippers, that and the wild card, of course, is John Wall. Like
if you get anything from John Wall,
if you get 60, 75% of the old John Wall, that's a win.
And he's going to be coming off the bench. Too.
He's going to be coming off the bench. So. But you got Reggie Jackson. So I think the Clippers, because if Kawhi is Kawhi and Paul can stay healthy, because that's the thing with Paul George. I know I said this on Ball Don't Lie probably like a year and a half ago. It might have been 2 seasons ago. But like Paul George is one of them guys. Like I know as much heat as he takes, like
he's a great fucking player.
Not only that, once he gets there, like it's gonna be like it's gonna die off. Like once he actually performs in those moments, not like you said, not getting the game winning shot hitting on him, you know, throwing up, getting buckets.
He did pretty well in the 2000 and last year. He did. He did really good to me.
He did. And like I said, but when we start seeing that consistently from him, and like if you know the Clippers win a championship, I think that's gonna back off. But I think the Clippers, bro, the Clippers gonna be nice.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm gonna say the Clippers too. I think if healthy, we gotta keep saying if healthy, they're the deepest team next to Golden State because they can defend. You know what I'm saying? In late games, you can defend Kawhi. I mean, you can defend Steph and Clay with Kawhi and PG. That can take them out of the game. You know what I'm saying? And I think the injuries wasn't a good thing last year, obviously, but it was a good thing, and it gave everybody else on the team opportunity. You know, and I think an underrated trade. This trade happened last year, and me and Pav said it. I think I said it on Hoops and Brews. Like, this trade doesn't matter for this season, but for next year, it's gonna pay off dividends. Getting Norman Powell, getting Robert Covington, that's gonna do tremendous wonders for this team. And you got a coach who I feel is the top 3 coach in the NBA in Ty Lue. You know what I'm saying? You got that. I think he did great coaching this team last year with all the injuries they had, and they still hosted a play-in game. They should have went to the first round. I was at the game. They jagged that 13-point lead with like a couple minutes left. They jagged it. So if healthy, yes, they're the team that gives them the most, the biggest scare, I guess you want to say. I would still probably take the Warriors because they've been there. I mean, obviously Kawhi's been there too, but as a unit, they've been there. I kind of think this is like their last dance as the actual the core 4 of the Warriors, which the core 4 is Steph, Clay, Iggy, and Draymond. Iggy already said he's going to retire. I think Draymond is not going to be awarded this year. This is the last dance with them. I'll probably still take them, but this is the team. If they're healthy, I wouldn't want to see. And I'm excited as just being able to have a front row seat to watch it. You know what I'm saying? So I'm wishing the Clippers all the good fortune because I want to cover playoff games in the NBA Finals this year. So I hope they go very, very, very fucking far. So I think that's a team that I would probably say will be the biggest threat. Now, let's go on to another word, Mr. Draymond Green. Before I give my opinion, did you see his little documentary that they played on TNT yesterday?
Yeah, where he lied.
Yes.
Claiming I didn't know how big it was, but then you said you watched it 15 times. Like, which one is it, Draymond? like, come on, bro. But like, nah, it's ridiculous. You know, it's like Stan. Like I said, Stan Van Gundy made a good point. He was like, you know, in the old days, Draymond, it's like a Horace Grant type. You know, obviously with less offense, but it's like you played your role well on the team with. You played your role in this. But I say Horace in the sense that you played your role well on the team with 2 superstars. You feel me? Like, you know, Draymond does what he does. He passes, he sets screens, he has a very high defensive IQ. That is what it is. You know, he's a great glue guy. But like you know, at the end of the day, without Steph and Clay, literally 2 generational shooters around you, what would that look like? So it's to the point where now those antics, as they transition from being a team when they won championships that basically, you know, even though you had the 2 with superstar KD, but they were a team who had, you know, veterans who accepted they rolled on the bench, and that's what they did. Now you have a Warriors roster that has young talent that's like ready to like, no, we're gonna take over. Like, no, we want to run with Steph and Clay. Like, that's what we want to do. Like Draymond, like I feel like there was, you know, a sense and a level of respect, but I'm not sure how that is based on everything we've heard after, you know, him punching bro in the face like that. But it's unfortunate. Like, and like he's a player where like everybody like, oh, he gonna go to the lake. Like,
okay, well, he gonna lake. What the fuck that gonna help? Another nigga who can't shoot.
Yeah, like that does nothing. Like, so it's a matter of where do they trade Draymond? Because you know he has a player option.
I don't think he's gonna get traded. I just think he's just not gonna come back because he got a player option. They're not gonna trade him mid-season. They're gonna try to get one more championship. I don't think I would be stunned if they traded him mid-season. I would be absolutely floored.
No, I'm not saying that. Like, I'm saying like even if he like accepted this player option, like that he might still get traded because it's just a matter of like I don't think he's gonna like turn down that type of bread. Even though like we know he'll get he'll get an offer from somebody, but that offer
what I mean by trade is mid-season trade. If he opted in, I think that's the thing. Now, if he decides to walk away, yes, he's not coming back. But if he opts in, they trading that nigga. There's not a doubt in my mind. Yeah. If he opts in, I'm talking about mid-season trade. I don't think that's gonna fucking happen whatsoever.
So he would have to punch that nigga again for that to happen, right? It would have to be something crazy.
My thing is this: like, I'm a big Draymond guy. I've been a fan of this dude since he came out of Michigan State. I wanted him on the Bulls. Remember the whole little thing?
So did Tom Thibodeau. Sure.
Yeah, Tibbs wanted him, and niggas got Marcus Teague. I've been a big Draymond Green fan. I think Draymond is a first fucking ballot Hall of Famer. I think he's just as important to the Warriors as Stephen Clay is. I am not trying to diminish his importance to this Warrior dynasty. Now, having said that, I'm officially fed up with Draymond Green. It's just too much, bro. And I think they said this on Le Batard. You just said it too. Any other player, like he does too much to be a glue guy. And like I said, I'm not trying to minimize anything he's done for this team. Steph wouldn't be Steph without Draymond, 100%. They would not have 4 championships without Draymond. But guess what? They would probably also have 5 if it wasn't for Draymond. They would probably still have Kevin Durant if it wasn't for Draymond. Like, Draymond has brought as much harm to the Warriors as good as he's brought. Stop fucking talking, man. Like, we don't need a podcast, and I don't have a problem with athlete-driven media. I have no problem with that. I feel like athletes give a take that people like us who never played the game will never have. They just see it from a different view. I have no problem with it. I actually like watching this podcast from time to time, but some of it is too much, bro. And I just watched that documentary, which it was just weird. Like, they were trying to make him out like he was the nigga that got punched.
Yeah,
like
he was a victim.
Yeah, you got the nigga who be commentating all the NBA championship tapes on there, and it was like, oh, he was exiled. Exiled, nigga, you was waiting for practice for 1 day. You didn't even get suspended. What you talking about, exile? And he's up there lying. Oh, I didn't see it. I didn't know how big it was. Like you said, G. You said at the press conference you watched it 15 times. Is it Uchi Raleigh or is it one mic? And then the fucking dreary music, and then the shot to the Bay Area and him with his kids. Like, nigga, like, stop. And this is the quote where I said, oh, this nigga has lost it. When he said, think of the upside. Nigga, huh? What up? What are you talking about upside? There's no upside.
You punch me in my damn face.
Yeah, what do you mean there's no upside to that? You know what I'm saying? And like he's just oblivious to shit. He's like he smelled himself too much. Like, I think in his mind, he thinks he is Steph Curry. And that type of shit is where, like, it's gotta stop. It's gotta stop. And then the canoodling with LeBron on the court mid-game. Like,
did you say you saw Iggy doing that?
Yeah, Iggy was doing that with, you know, the dick flute solo. Like, it's nasty, G. Like, and I don't have no problem with you being friends with this nigga. We know that these niggas are friends off the court. It's just a game. I get that. Say that shit for the end of the game, bro. Like, it's just nasty from all levels. And I'm personally fed up with Draymond. Like, I'm done. I don't want to hear it. No more. Just go out there, play and shut the fuck up. And we know that's not gonna happen. We're gonna get these little documentary shits for the rest of the fucking season because he got a fucking deal with Turner. You know what I'm saying? And that shit, as a fan and as a guy who just calls out bullshit when I see it, enough is enough, man.
Yeah, bro. Like you say, now, like I said, now that they have the talent, where it's like, yeah, you know, they've always been better with the Draymond, but like the splits with him off the court ain't that bad either. Like, yeah. You have a team, especially with Wiseman coming back and just Kuminga and, like I said, JP. It's a lot of young talent on this team, and an owner who doesn't mind bringing in more talent. You feel me? So it's like, it's to the point we don't need to actually, you know, deal with everything you talk about, especially because Draymond allegedly wants a max, which I think that's not happening.
Which is nuts.
But it's to a point where it's like, yeah, we're not gonna pay this tax bill and have to deal with all your shit. So we just gonna, you know, bow out and make something happen. Yeah. So like, it's unfortunate, but I do think like the writers on the wall, they're like, unless, you know, even if I'm not gonna get on my Jerry Krause shit, like, you know, even if they win a championship, he ain't coming back. But I don't see, you know, too many scenarios where he does come back.
Unless he decides to take a pay cut, which is not in the Clutch DNA, he is not gonna be awarded next year.
Yeah,
he's not gonna be awarded next year, and there'll be somebody paying. And honestly, the Lakers wouldn't like. That's why I don't bother. Like, yeah, I understand him and LeBron are fans, but I don't see him going to the Lakers. Why would the Lakers pay him that?
Yeah,
like whatever team that would give him a contract like that, they ain't gonna be that good. Like, I think that nigga, you want a contract, call Michael Jordan. Michael Jordan bring that nigga to Charlotte. He'll get that nigga Miles Bridges money.
I mean, half his team arrested, so
you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm fed up with Draymond, man. But at the end of the day, it's basketball. The Warriors are gonna be great. We're not gonna be talking about this a month from now. But just I'm as a Draymond fan, I can't say I'm disappointed because that we know what kind of nigga he is. But like, it's just like, enough, bro. Enough. Like, you doing too much. Let's get to our last topic before we get to our standings and predictions and shit like that. Chicago Bulls. A lot of things like I said about this team, but a lot of it I said on the preview.
Bucks.
Yeah, so you got your Bucks hat on right now if you're watching the video on the Barbershop YouTube.
New bandwagon alert.
Chicago sports have finally defeated me. Like I'm to the point where like, I'll always be a fan. I'm not gonna sit up here and act like I'm not finna watch these niggas. I'm finna watch these niggas today. I'm not finna sit up here and act like I'm not going to. Now Dante, he's one of the people who says he's not watching. He's dead ass serious. He's not as tormented as the rest of us. This nigga gave up on the White Sox in May.
I'm going to Braves games. They winning games, signing the right people, making the right move, and I'm like, what the hell am I rooting for this other shit for? But that's for those who don't know. I know we got a lot of new followers and new people listening. They're like, I think it was when I first started really like working in sports. Yeah. That whole sports fan shit is dead to me. Like it's like when you look at the business side of sports,
it changes things for you.
I'm not spending my money and giving you my emotional, all of this emotional energy. Fuck no. Like I'm not doing that. Like if it's a team with a good front office is making good moves, like good players, it's entertainment at the end of the day. So like you have your favorites, and like you said, I always root for the Bulls, I always root for the Bears, the White Sox. But I'm at the point now where like I don't care. Like
they emotionally do not get stuff out of me anymore. And it's just like it's like, and somebody told me this was gonna happen before I started covering the Bears and the Clippers. Somebody said like, you're not gonna care as much. I was like, no, I'll always care. I have not had any emotions toward the Chicago Bears in over a year. And for anybody who knows that, just look at my Twitter account. You won't be seeing me going on like I told you who these niggas was gonna be. And I'm officially at that point with the Bulls and the White Sox. It's just like I care, obviously, it's my team, but it's like you niggas ain't finna be getting me upset for some shit that ain't gonna change. And it just is what it is. And for those of you who don't know what we're referring to, now this is a day after, so I don't know. The Bulls might have beat the Heat, they might have lost. I don't know what the score was, but
they're gonna lose.
They're gonna lose. But spoiler alert, they lost. Zach Veen didn't play game 1 because of knee injury, load management. Alex Caruso's playing despite the fact that he has a knee contusion. It's just like, what the fuck? I truly believe that the Reinsdorf just hired niggas off the street to be part of the fucking training staff. This is a theme with both Reinsdorf-led teams. I don't know what the fuck it is. Now, here's why I call bullshit on the Zach shit. I'm not mad at Zach whatsoever, but the Bulls are doing the same shit that they're doing that they did to Derrick Rose. They're going to put Zach in a bad light and make Zach look like he's soft, make sure Zach look like he don't want to play. When this nigga played in preseason, right? He played in preseason, and the last preseason game was 10 days ago. And now you don't load manage a season opener. If you really want me to believe the load manage, he'd have played the season opener, took off against the Washington game because it's the first back-to-back, and he plays the home opener against Cleveland. Then I would have believed knee management. Then I'd have had no problem with it. Something is up. Just stop lying to the fan base. Be for real with us. He faced a setback in preseason. Just be real. And if he did, it is what it is. I can't get mad at that. It's sports. Shit happens. But don't lie to the fans and tell us some shit that we know is not the case. And they do this shit all the fucking time. And it's just like, as a Bulls fan, as a sports fan, I'm tired of it, bro. I'm tired. I don't want to go through an entire season of injuries and mediocre play just to be a 6 or 7 seed and be out in the first fucking round. I would rather this team be god awful and tank for Vic than I would be the deal for this year. And for everybody too, we don't have our pick. Here's the thing: for all y'all slow at home and don't pay attention, the Bulls. Yes, Orlando has their pick if the Bulls if it's not top 4. So when I say tank for Vic, I'm obviously talking about top 4 because Vic is going number 1.
Yeah.
So the Bulls were bad enough and they got the number 1 pick. Orlando doesn't get that. Victor, how you pronounce his last name? I don't want to fuck it up.
We're not gonna do that today.
We're not gonna do that to him. It took me about 2 years to get Giannis' last name right, but Vic, we don't call him Crown Vic. If the Bulls are bad enough and they got Crown Vic for the number 1 draft pick, he's not going to Orlando. He will be a Bull. So it is top 4 protected. And also, I don't like the revisionist history on the Nikola Vucevic trade, and this is why I say so. Do I think Vooch has lived up to what I thought he was going to be? No. Wendell Carter Jr. is ass. I don't give a fuck how you niggas want to pretty that shit up. That nigga stinks. Yes, Franz Wagner is a nice young player. I still do that trade over. I don't lose any sleep over the Orlando Magic trade. I don't know about you. That was a trade at the time that looked great, and I still don't have a problem with it now. I'm not going to have buyer's remorse because these niggas refuse to put other talent around him. That's what I'm not going to have. So just as a fan, and we'll get into our East standings in a minute, you know how I feel about this team if you listen to third pick. I'm just whatever with the Chicago Bulls and Chicago sports in general. But what do you feel about how they're handling this injury, and what's your opinion on the Orlando Magic trade a couple years later?
No, I'm with you, bro. Like I think with Zach, like it's no way you play the preseason, have the days off, and you can't play game one because of load management. Like that makes absolutely no sense. Then it conflicted reports because Joe Cowley reported, he was asked in the press conference. They said, "When did you feel the tweak in your knee?" He said, "I never said that." Like he was like, "I never said I felt anything." And so, then you had AK go up there and say he felt something. You know,
Well,
so it's
AK
like,
said that
yeah.
today.
Yeah, earlier there today. Well, no. AK, I'm sorry. AK didn't say that.
Oh, okay.
Look, he was Zach was asked, and Zach said, I never said that. So I'm not sure where the report came from, but it was a matter of just different shit going on, and it's been like that with the Bulls, and it's always like that. And so I'm with you. Like it's not much energy to really give it. Like I said, we've invested a lot of money into a very low ceiling team. At the end of the day, like that mediocrity is not what you want in the NBA. You want to, even though like we see, if you got a bad front office, like it don't matter how many high draft picks you get, you're gonna be trash. Like we've seen that time and time again. But with the Bulls, they you spend a lot of money to be middle of the pack, and that's the last place you want to be in basketball.
That's the last place you want to be in sports.
Any sports, yeah, any sport really.
Being in the middle, you either want to, you got to make a decision. You're gonna be bad or you're gonna be good. And
Yeah.
so that's just the unfortunate thing about it, man. But anyway, we're gonna get into our war prediction now. Before we get into that, I know Dante, you have the Vegas odds for awards. So give us the Vegas odds and then give us your award winners.
All right, bet. So we're gonna start off. We're gonna start off with the 2022-23 MVP. Right now, of course, you know how Vegas do. Your man Luca is the odds-on favorite. He's at plus 450. You got Joel Embiid number 2 at plus 500. Giannis plus 550. KD plus 1,000, and then Joker plus 1,000. I think you can X Joker off. I think just voter fatigue, that's dead.
Yeah, he's not getting
So
that.
yeah, KD would have to have a spectacular season. Giannis, I think Giannis is I would say he's my sleeper because
Giannis
he
is
is.
almost voter fatigue too.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. That's why it's close. But like if he has an amazing season, which is very possible, you never know. But my pick, I'm gonna go with I gotta go with Embiid because I do think Philly's gonna have a really good season.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with Embiid too for my MVP, just because I wanted to pick Luca very badly. I just don't think that the Mavericks are gonna be a top 2 seed for him to get that MVP. And I'm very high on the Sixers as a regular season team. Let me preference that as a regular season team. I'm high on the Sixers, and I feel like if Embiid, and of course Embiid's gonna miss some games. That's just is what it is. The nigga fell like 50 times last night as it is. But I do think, with that this team is built to be a good regular season team, and I think that he'll get the votes to be the MVP. So I'm gonna go with Embiid for MVP. Who you got for coach of the year, and what the odds for that are?
Let me give you 1 second. Try it on there. All right, they got Steve Kerr as the favorite right now, plus 700. You got Chris Finch at plus 900. You got Taylor Jenkins at plus 1,000. You got Ty Lue at plus 1,000, and you got Monty Williams at plus 1,200. I'm gonna go with Ty Lue because, like I said, I'm gonna tell you about the Clippers in a minute, but I'm gonna go with Ty Lue.
Ty Lue was a great pick. I'm gonna go a little wild card here. Gonna go Willie Green.
Okay.
Of the New Orleans Pelicans. I'm high on the Pelicans. I really love that late run that they had last year. I think a full healthy season of Zion, a full season with CJ McCollum. Brandon Ingram was great last year. I think they're going to be a really, really good team. I think he's going to be good coaching. And I think, Ty Lue is a good pick. I can see Ty Lue. I think Steve Kerr, the coaches of the great teams like that usually don't get that many. Like, I think Phil Jackson only has one coach of the year, which is absurd when you think about it. So I don't think they'll give it to Steve Kerr, but I'm gonna say Ty Lue I could definitely see, but I'm gonna say Willie Green. Defensive player of the year. What's odds and picks for that?
Let's go. Rudy Gobert at plus 450. You got Bam Adebayo at plus 700. You got Giannis at plus 800. You got Robert Williams at plus 1,000, and you got Draymond at plus 1,000. I'm gonna pick another plus 1,000. I'm gonna go with Robert Williams. I think when he comes back, like he is that important to that defense in Boston. I think they're gonna turn up even more. So I think like as long as he gets back and plays enough games, I think Robert Williams gonna win it.
I'm gonna go Mr. Giannis, man. Giannis won it once, if I'm not mistaken. He won the year he won MVP, right? If I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think Giannis is going to do it again. I think Giannis is a great defensive player. I think Giannis is going to have another great campaign. He's the best player in the NBA by far. I love KD. I don't think it's close anymore. I'm sorry. I think he's far and away the best player in the NBA. I think defensively, he's going to be all over the place. And I think that, Rudy Gobert, he's great as usual, but he's won it so many damn times. Bam is a good one. I like Robert Williams. I just don't know if Robert Williams is gonna be healthy enough to get it. But I'm gonna go with Giannis for my defense player of the year. Most improved player. Do they have odds for that one or no?
They do.
Okay.
They got Tyrese Halliburton at plus 1,000.
That's a good
Anthony Edwards at plus 1,000. Zion at plus 1,600. Jalen Brunson at plus 2,000, and Tyrese Maxey at plus 2,000.
Who you got?
It's gonna be either Zion or Maxey, but you know how they thirsty they are to give their young stars awards. So I'm gonna go Zion.
I can see that because the Josh shit last year was bullshit. I don't like how they pick most improved player anymore. If you're an all-star, you shouldn't be qualified to be most improved player. Yeah. So I'm gonna go with the way it should be voted. Now this is 9 times out of 10, this is not how it's gonna go. I'm gonna say Ayo Dosunmu. I think Ayo he's obviously gonna be starting point guard of the Wolves until further notice. Ayo, since he's been in Morgan Park, has gotten better each year of his career. He's bulked up a little bit more. I think he surprised everybody as a rookie last year. And I think he's just going to take it to another level this year. I expect his playmaking to step up. I expect his offense to step up. And I think he's going to really as much. I think the thing that we'll miss the most about with Lonzo, obviously, is his defense and 3-point shooting. But as far as a point guard, I don't think you're going to miss it because I do think that that Ayo and Goran Dragic can hold down the fort till Alonzo's ready to go. So I'm gonna say Ayo.
Yeah, no, Ayo. That's a very solid pick. And I as much as even though I said Zion, I wanted to pick Tyrese Maxey because I think he's like
Tyrese Maxey. That's a nice.
I think he's gonna have a really.
Maxey's gonna have a really good year. Really good year for Maxey. Yeah. 6th man of the year. What's our odds for that?
All right, of course you got boy who just got broke off, Jordan Poole plus 390, Tyler Hero at plus 850, Christian Woods at plus 1,000, Norman Powell at plus 1,100, Malcolm Brogdon at plus 1,500. I'm liking a lot of these sleepers. I'm not gonna lie.
Malcolm Brogdon's a nice sleeper.
Yeah, and Jordan Poole is an obvious pick, especially if they go just strictly off points, which they 9 times out of 10 will. Yeah. Like that's usually how it goes. And also, I think Tyler Hero is gonna eventually start. Like, I think that'll happen down in Miami, but
so who you
I'm gonna go JP. I think Jordan Poole gonna get it.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm picking Jordan Poole. He's my pick last year, and I'm sticking with it because he should have won last year. I think he's gonna. We know what Jordan Poole is now. So we know that he's gonna give you at least 15 off the bench a game. I think him getting his contract, he's gonna play even better. Last year he started a lot because Clay was hurt. So I think he's going to be fully entrenched in the 6-man role. And I think, if he stays healthy, I think it's his to lose, man. So I'm definitely going with JP. Final award, Rookie of the Year.
They got the boy Paolo at number 1. He's plus 185. Keegan Murray plus 500. Jaden Ivey plus 500. Jabari Smith Jr. plus 650. And Benedict Mathurin. Okay, Mathurin at plus 650. I'm gonna go Paolo just because I think Orlando is gonna be one of those young, fun teams, and like he'll be able to, showcase his abilities. And like Rookie of the Year is definitely in the war. Shout out to your man CDR. Where if you a rookie and you get the rock in your hands, you could probably win Rookie of the Year. So like I think Paolo, even with Cole Anthony and everybody there, he's gonna be a very big part of that offense. And he has all the tools already. So just seeing how he develops and how he grows down there, but I think Rookie Year, he has a very good shot at Rookie of the Year.
I mean, this is funny. I'm gonna say Paolo just because I don't know none of them other niggas on that list. So I'm not gonna lie to y'all. And I'm not gonna lie to the listeners and the viewers. I don't know none of them other niggas, and I'll be real. I don't know much about Paolo, but he's the only name I know, so I'm going with Paolo.
And that's very valid.
This is what it is. And anytime somebody calls the team fun, that means they're gonna be ass, but at least they'll have a couple players that's gonna be entertaining. That's exactly what fun means when we bring up a sports team. But those are our award winners. We'll see in 6-7 months how right we are. Let's get into our standings. We're gonna break down our Eastern Conference standing picks in order from 10 through 1 in each conference. We're gonna start with the East. I'll start with mine. I'll go from 10 up. with the play-in. So my 4 play-in teams, at the 7th seed, I'm gonna have the Chicago Bulls. I think the Bulls, even with Zach in and out of the lineup, I think they'll have enough to be a play-in team. And this is not factoring in if the Florist does do well, because I'm not expecting shit from Patrick Williams until I fucking see it, or is my esteemed podcast partner and the president of this great media company, let's do as to call him, Trevor Ariza.
And we gotta stop that, because like, at this point it's disrespectful to Trevor Ariza. But continue. You right.
Until I gotta see it with Pat. So if Pat does play well, then I can see the Bulls in the top 6. But as presently constructed, I still don't like their rim protection. I still don't like their 3-point shots. We're already dealing with injuries with Zach and Caruso, and it's the Bulls, so there's gonna be some other injuries come too. So I think there'll be a 7th seed. I'm gonna peg them at about 43 wins. Now, I'm not gonna give you the win total for every team. I'm just gonna give you the win total for the Bulls. I'm gonna give them 43 wins, which is 3 wins less than last year and a seed under than last year. So I'm gonna have them in my 7th seed. They will host a play-in game. My 8th seed, I'm gonna go with the Atlanta Hawks. They got DeJounte Murray. I think it's a good trade for them. I think DeJounte was a good player in San Antonio, but we also see when people come from losing situations, how are they going to adapt on a team that is expected to win? You know what I'm saying? Now, of course, nobody expecting the Hawks to like go to no fucking East Conference Finals, but as far as winning, as far as like making the playoffs and things of that nature, Trae Young is Trae Young. They brought DeAndre Hunter back. They got Collins back. This is year 2 for Mike. Who's their coach? It's Mike. It's not Mike Woodson. It's my man Nate McMillan still coach, right?
Yeah, it's Nate McMillan.
Yeah, and so it's year 2 with Nate McMillan. I think they'll be better than last year. But the East is just so stacked. You know what I'm saying? And I don't think that they're that much better than they were before. And I think that the Bulls have a better roster than they do. And so I'm going to put the Atlanta Hawks at number 8. Number 9, this is a team that I don't feel like it's getting enough criticism because they stood pat too in the regular season. But maybe because they don't play in this fucking country, niggas don't give a fuck. But I'm putting the Toronto Raptors at 9. I think they'll be good. I think, you got Siakam, Fred VanVleet to be healthy. Scotty Barnes is looking like a guy, but they don't jump off the page for me either. They one of those teams that they'll be competitive during the regular season. But as we saw in the playoffs, no superstars on this team. They don't crack the top. I don't think they're better than any of the top 6. They don't. And I think just on a star level, the Bulls and the Hawks have stars. There's no star on the Toronto Raptors for me. So I'm going to put the Raptors at number 9. Number 10, I could very much be wrong because you can never, this franchise did there. I could be wrong. I'm putting the Knicks at 10. I'm putting the Knicks only at 10 because I'm going off the improvement of RJ Barrett. I like Brunson with the team. I don't like the contract they gave. I don't think Brunson's worth. I think Donovan Mitchell is responsible for the generational wealth that Jalen Brunson now has. But I think Brunson will be a solid guy. I think that RJ will take another leap. I like what they've got in quickly. I like some of their young guys, Mitch, Robinson, Obi Toppin. I think it'll be enough for them to get a play in. But that's just because the rest of the East is just the bottom half of the East is just really, really awful. So I'm gonna put them at 10. So those are my 4 play-in teams: Bulls, Hawks, Raptors, and Knicks. Now, give me your 4 play-in teams, and then we'll do our top 6.
Well, for me, bro, I just had to rewrite my top 6 down just to make sure I don't forget them. My number 10 is probably gonna be the Bulls. Like,
you got them that low?
Yeah, I just don't think at the end of the day they don't shoot threes and they don't defend well. And in today's NBA, you have to do both of those. So, like, granted, you do got some star power, but this Zach shit is really still up in the air, in my opinion. Like, I really don't know where Zach is gonna be and how that's gonna work out. So, Zach, that's one issue that I really have. So I got the Bulls at 10. 9, I got Lonzo got hurt. I mean, Jello got hurt, but not Jello, Melo.
Nigga, them niggas are not making the play.
Yeah. The Hornets, they've fallen off. So number 9, I'm gonna go with the New York Knicks. I got the Knicks at 9.
You got the Knicks over the Bulls.
Yeah, I think, bro. I don't think the Bulls are gonna be good. Like,
I don't think the Knicks are gonna be good. I think I get, unless y'all think that Zach is gonna miss mad time. I don't think the Bulls are gonna be that bad.
At this point, bro. At this point, like, go there. The Raptors. The Raptors are 8. Like you said, that's one of those wait and see teams. They got a lot of good players. They got a lot of players that go like off ball, do their own thing type of shit. So it's gonna be interesting. And then 7, because I got a lot of people in my top 5. 7, I go to Hawks. I think the Hawks are gonna be a decent team. They're gonna be entertaining. Like you said, it's still a wait and see approach with Atlanta because it's similar. Obviously, they're not the same player, but like similar to LeBron, Trae Young is at his best with the ball in his hand. So as good as DeJounte is as a point guard, how often are you gonna take the ball out of Trae Young's hand?
Right. Yeah.
So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, if you're expecting Zach, which you're right at this point, you can't put nothing on the table. But if unless they come out and say like Zach's out 4 to 6 weeks or some shit like that, which could happen. I'm not putting anything out of realm possibility.
They told you Lonzo Ball was making progress, and next thing you know, he clean up surgery.
But if it's just a day-to-day thing, let's just play devil's advocate. If it is a day-to-day thing, I don't think they'll be that bad. But we'll see. Here's my top 6 in the East. Number 1, going with the Sixers. Yes, they lost to the Celtics, and let's be very clear. I'm not high on this team come playoff time. Let's be very clear about that. I don't believe anything about James Harden once the fucking calendar hits mid-April. But in the regular season, they'll have enough in the regular season to win enough games. I think Harden will be good in the regular season. I think PJ Tucker elevates every team he's on. I think Tyrese Maxey is going to be great. I think Doc Rivers is a good regular season coach. And I think that Joel Embiid will be the league MVP. Now, I just want to say about these standings. All these standings are health permitting. So I should have put that again. Health permitting, this is how I see it playing now. I have the Sixers in number 1. Number 2, I'm put the Milwaukee Bucks. And the reason I don't have the Bucks number 1 is because they're going to miss Chris Middleton for like the first month and a half of the season, as he's still recovering from injury. But they have Giannis. I don't like that they lost a couple pieces on their bench. They're not as good as they were, I believe, last year before injuries. But when you have the best player in the game, you've got, their defensive team. I'm going to put them number 2. Number 3, despite all the shit the Boston Celtics went through, despite them having a new coach in Joe Mazzulla, with them losing Ime Udoka, I still think this team is going to be good enough to be a top 3 team in the playoffs. In the regular season, as we saw last night, they still have a lot of talent. Jason Tatum, he had one of the worst postseasons I've ever seen in my life. He's still young; he can still get better. Jaylen Brown, I think, is going to be playing with a chip on his shoulder. I don't think he gets the credit that he feels like he deserves. And then also they try to trade this nigga this offseason. So I feel like he's really going to be on fuck you time. And I just think that, they're going to get Robert Williams back. He'll be good, be the anchor of that defense. You're going to have, Malcolm Brogdon come off the bench. I like what I'm seeing for Boston to be in the top 3. Now, this is why I say health permitting. Because health permitting, and I hate down picking this team, the Brooklyn Nets at number 4. Health permitting and also Kyrie permitting. Who knows? Kyrie might wake up middle of November and say, I just don't. It's raining outside there. I don't think I should have to play in rain. That rain isn't really real. You don't ever know what the fuck some shit Kyrie be on. So we got to put Kyrie being Kyrie as much of a concern as injuries are from this team. But if Kyrie isn't Kyrie and then they stay relatively healthy, you've got Kevin Durant, you've got Kyrie Irving. Well, a great 1-2. You've got Ben Simmons who can just do what Ben Simmons does, which is defend and rebound. And then you add, a guy like Royce O'Neal, who I think is a good defender. They should be good enough to be a 4th seed. I mean, this is a team that's a top 2 seed last year before Kevin Durant got injured. And that was without Kyrie Irving. So I think they'll be top 4. Top 5, I say the Miami Heat. I think the Miami Heat benefited a lot from the injuries that happened from other teams in the playoffs last year, that's what you're supposed to do. I'm not knocking them for that, but I don't think they're going to do much come playoff time. But as far as regular season, they're an Eric Spoelstra team. They're a Pat Riley team. They're going to defend. They're going to rebound. They're going to do enough. They've got guys you don't even fucking heard of who always coming in and making a big impact. So I think they'll be good enough to be a top 5 seed. My final seed in the actual playoff bracket is the Cleveland Cavaliers. Getting Donovan Mitchell. Now, Donovan Mitchell did not have a good year last year whatsoever. But I'm going to give him a pass because of what the toxic situation was out there in Utah. I think it's going to take a minute for them to gel. As anything does, I don't think they're going to fly right off the page. But they have a good enough team, with, him and Darius Garland have a chance to be the best backcourt in the Eastern Conference. Darius Garland took a massive step last year. I think he's going to get even better. You got Evan Mobley. They were able to keep Isaac Okoro without giving him up to Utah. They've got Jared Allen coming back. JB Bickerstaff is going to done a good job coaching that team. I think there'll be enough to get that 6. So in recap, I got the Sixers at number 1, the Bucks at number 2, Celtics at 3, Nets at 4, Heat at 5, Cavs at 6, Bulls at 7, Hawks at 8, Raptors at 9, and the New York Knickerbockers at 10. So who do you got for your 1 through 6 in the East?
My 1 through 6, real easy, real simple. I do think the Philadelphia 76ers is going to be really good this year. I think the Philadelphia 76ers in the regular season, because with the amount of, teams against bad games, even though we do talk about the East being stacked, it's still very top heavy. Yeah. So they're going to have their games where they feast. I know Embiid, he got to get in shape. Like he was out there tired yesterday. You feel me? And so, that's going to come with time.
On the floor like Justin Fields yesterday. You got to stop that shit. It's 81 more games, bro.
They did start, they did, like I said, started off, not bad, but you start off with a loss like that. But I think at the end of the day, they'll be just fine.
Yeah.
Number 2, I got Milwaukee. I think I definitely wore the hat for a reason, because I do think the Bucks get slept on a lot. But like you said, that's still a formidable top 3. Yeah, basically. So the Bucks, I think that's going to be a solid number 2 team. Number 3, I got Boston. I think, like you said, with the dynamic duo that they got, Brown and Tatum, they learning how to play with each other, continuing to do their thing. I think that's always going to be that's going to continue to grow, and they're going to definitely work together. And so coaching aside with the Ime shit, I don't know how that's going to work, but I do think that team will be solid, and that'll be my 3 seed. Number 4, I got Brooklyn, because I still think it's a lot of what ifs with Brooklyn. Like seeing how everything gels, they could easily be the 2 seed, damn near the 1 seed, because with adding Ben Simmons, you said what he can do on defense and everything like that. Compared to we love to talk about his shooting, but when he does play and he wanted to, when he was actually locked in and engaged, he's a top line defender, great passer. He does a lot of things that can really help that offense continue to flow. When you got Kyrie, you got KD, you got Joe Harris when he comes back from injury, you got Steph Curry when he comes back from injury. Harris. Yeah, so they have shooters. So having a guy like Ben, they can easily jump up to the 2 seed. But I'm gonna put Brooklyn at 4. 5, I think the Cavaliers. I think the Cavaliers are gonna be really good this year. With the addition of Donovan Mitchell, with who they already had, Evan Mobley and the rest of the gang. Like they really, like you said, got a vet like Kevin Love still over there. I know he's not gonna get much PT, but just having that experience coupled with the talent they have on their roster now, I think the Cavs are gonna be my 5 seed, and I got the Heat at 6. I think they have the talent, you got the ability, but like you said, the East, I think the East is gonna be real top heavy this year.
Yeah.
And so when it comes down to everything, the regular season battles and things like that, I think that's gonna knock the Heat down a bit. So I got the Heat at 6.
All right, cool, man. Let's move to the Wild Wild West. Of course, we'll start with our play-in teams. By the way, I'm glad to play in. I like to play in. I know a lot of people don't like to play in. I like to play in. It's competitive to me. I think it brings a little bit to it. So I've been a big fan of the play-in. For my 7th seed, man, I know this is gonna come to a shock to some. But this is also because of how deep I think the West is, and just I think the Memphis Grizzlies take a massive step back. I got the Grizzlies in my 7th seed, bro. I think the Grizzlies take a massive step back. This has nothing to do with Ja Morant. I think Ja's gonna be great. I just think they had one of them years where they caught fire. I don't think this is an elite basketball team like everybody thinks that they are. Who's your number 2 on this roster? Desmond Bane is not a number 2 to me. I'm talking about a legit number 2. Jaren Jackson doesn't rebound enough, doesn't score enough to be a legit number 2. I think Ja's amazing, but you're going to really see this season why he needs more help. And it's also because I think other teams in the West got better and are healthier. So I'm going to go with the Memphis Grizzlies in my 7th seed. My number 8 seed is a team that made a lot of trades this year, but I don't think that they're going to be as great as advertised. I'm going with the Minnesota Timberwolves. I didn't like what I saw from D'Angelo Russell in that playoff series. And he's not, to me, he is what he is at this point. I think Anthony Edwards is going to be great. I think Anthony Edwards takes a leap I don't like the fit of Rudy Gobert and Karl Anthony Towns. I just don't like the fit. And until I'm proven wrong, I think that's going to be a massive thing that holds them back. I understand the trade. I know they gave up a lot of draft picks, a lot of draft capital, but nobody's coming to Minnesota. When it comes to these smaller market teams, sometimes you got to pay the $5 to get you some quality talent. So I'm not mad at the trade. I just don't think they're going to be that good. So I'm going to put the Minnesota Timberwolves number 8. And number 9, I've got the Los Angeles Lakers. And this is me being nice. This is if healthy. If healthy, I've got the Los Angeles Lakers. If they make a trade, early in the season or at the deadline to move Russ and they get some shooters back, then you can sell me on a 7th, maybe a 6th seed if LeBron and AD are healthy. But as presently constructed, this team is god awful. Yes, they did. This is only one game. They only played the Golden State Warriors. I expect them to play better against the Clippers, not that much better. But the shooting is not going to be there on a game-to-game basis for them to be higher than where I've got the projected. So I'm going with the Lakers at 9. At 10, I'm going to Portland Trailblazers, and there's no real reason for that. It's just if you look at the rest of the West, I'm not finna take Sacramento, nigga. I'm not finna take the Spurs. So just off default and just by Damian Lillard, I'm gonna go with the Blazers as my 10 seed. So who you got 7 through 10 in the West?
My 7 through 10. My 7 seed is gonna be the New Orleans Pelicans. Like you said, I really like Willie Green as a head coach. Seeing the growth of Ingram and everything he's done, Zion being back. I think you're gonna really see a lot of positive things down in New Orleans. My 8 seed is the Minnesota Timberwolves. I agree with you. I do like the fit of Rudy Gobert, but I think the West is just the way it's currently seeded. I don't think Memphis falls off at all. So I think that's just where they end up sliding by when the season's over. Number 9, I got Portland. I agree with you. The bottom of the barrel in the West is bad, and my 10th seed is the Lakers. Like the Lakers are not going to be good.
I went back and forth with 9 and 10 for the Lakers. I gave them the benefit of the doubt.
And mainly because you have to rely on, even though some of Anthony Davis's injury, no, Damian gonna hate to hear this. Some of Anthony Davis's injury history is overstated, but as a Laker, he has been hurt a lot. No, because before he came to the Lakers, he would miss games, but it was never nothing crazy. It was never a lot. He would miss a game here, game there. It wasn't these long 2-week, 3-week stretches or whatever. But as a Laker, he has been hurt, so you're relying on him to play a whole lot of minutes that you just don't know if he's gonna play. And we've been talking about what ifs all episodes, so I can't.
Best case scenario, how many games you see AD playing? Best case scenario.
Best case, he plays 65 games.
Best case scenario is about 50, 55.
I think if you can get him to play 65 and throw your maintenance days in there because that's how they do, or even 70, but 65.
70 is great. That's amazing. Yeah. He gets 70 in.
Yeah, but it's possible. It's because he gets a lot of fluke injuries.
Yeah, but them fluke injuries be lingering. My 1 through 6. Number 1, I got the Golden State Warriors, and I do think they're gonna do some load management. I do, I think Steve Kerr said that he's not gonna play heavy minutes for Draymond and I was gonna say what happened on the game. I forgot you to play behind Draymond and Clay. But the youth movement that they have out there, I think is going to be. I think you're going to see Kuminga get a lot. Moses Moody. We saw it in game 1. They played a lot of minutes in that game. I think James Wiseman has it. Once James Wiseman can actually finish at the hole, go up a little stronger, he's going to be crazy. And I just think they're just too deep of a team, and they've got everybody back. And I think that they're going to. I think they're going to be the number 1 seed. I think they're going to roll. And the depth of this team. This is the deepest team they've had since the 2014-2015 team, and they're going to be even better because Steph is a better player than he was back then. Clay's not as better as he is because defensively he can't do the same things, but Clay don't have to be the Clay of old. Clay give me 15, 18 a game. That's awesome because Poole's going to give you 15 off the bench. Wiggins can give you about 20 a game. So the ball is going to be spread around pretty easily, and I think Steph was already Steph. I don't think this is something where the Finals MVP makes Steph any better, but that little final monkey off the that was on his shoulder is gone. The final chip on the shoulder is gone. I think you're gonna see Steph just be amazing. Number 2, I'm going to Los Angeles Clippers. Health permitting, this team is deep. Kawhi and PG, you can convince me is the best duo in the NBA when healthy, because they do it on both sides of the ball. And I know in this offensive world, people forget that there's two sides of the basketball. You should also defend, and these two are great. And so I think that they'll be, John. If you get anything from John Wall, that's gonna be great. Norman Powell, Robert Covington, they play good defense. They've got a great coach. I'm going to the Clippers number 2. Number 3, when I went back to do it again, I almost forgot about the same. Denver Nuggets number 3. Even though, like I said, the LSS, we are reviewing Jamal Murray's candidacy, but he is back. Michael Porter Jr. be back, and when you have the 2-time defending MVP and Jokic, they'll be good enough to be one of those top 3 teams, man. So I'm going to go with the Nuggets number 3. Number 4, I'm going with my boy Luka and them Dallas Mavericks. I really love the Christian Wood signing. Luka is going to take another level. I think Jason Kidd has done a great job with that team. I do think losing Jalen Brunson hurt a little bit, but I think this team is, they feel like they can win. You got a superstar like Luka, it can elevate you. So I'm gonna go with them with the 4 seed. Number 5, very high on this team. Health admitting, I'm going New Orleans Pelicans. I think Zion is going to remind a lot of niggas this year. It's kind of what if they do the 2019 draft over, you taking Ja over Zion? No, nigga, no. When this nigga's healthy, he averaged 27 points. I think people forget this. When he's healthy, he was an all-star and he averaged 27 points. And for Adam Silver, you need him to be healthy, because I've said this on this podcast. I've said it on Summer Sessions. When LeBron James retires, there's going to be a massive superstar gap. And you need Zion to be Zion to carry this league. I know Giannis is a superstar. I know Luka's a superstar. You need an American-born nigga to be the superstar. I know it sounds fucked up, but it is what it is. So if you have 4 years Zion, I really love Willie Green. I got him as my coach of the year. Brandon Ingram had a great year last year. You got CJ McCollum for a full season this year. I love some of the young guys that get off the bench. I'm very high on the New Orleans Pelicans. I'm going to number 5. Number 6, Phoenix. I think Phoenix's bench is worse than it was last year. I think they got a lot of drama. Of course, the Robert Sarver situation. You got a center in DeAndre Ayton who obviously don't want to be there. It's clear as fucking day he don't want to be there. You got Chris Paul's another year older. Defensively, I don't think they're going to be as good as they were last year. And it's just, you also got a coach in Monty Williams who doesn't really 100% know how to use DeAndre Ayton when he's even in the fucking lineup, even when he's happy. So I think that's going to be a lot for them, but I don't think they're going to be bad enough to miss the over to make the play-in team. So I'm put Phoenix at 6.
Yeah, the bottom half of my 6 was difficult because, like you said, it's been like a little bit of shuffling, but for some of the teams that stayed pat, it's like, all right, well, are they gonna give you the same results? So it is, like you said, another year, another thing. But I got the Warriors at number 1. But for everything we've said all episode, I got the Clippers at number 2. I do think, there's a possibility that the Clippers can challenge for that 1 seed. I think with the talent they have, like, if Kawhi comes back and he's Kawhi, which it looks like in all intents and purposes he is, that's a dangerous ball club. Yeah. Well, I said ball club. I'm still in baseball mode. That's a dangerous team.
That's
you feel me? So,
ball club.
Yeah. So I got the Clippers at 2. My 3 seed, like you said, I'm gonna go with the Denver Nuggets. I think the Nuggets with Jamal Murray coming back, give him a time to get reacclimated because he has been out for a while. But the Clippers, the Nuggets. Actually, you know what? No. Because I'm going Memphis at 4. What is it? I'm on 4, right?
You on 3. You got Denver 3, right? Okay.
Yeah. I got no.
Bro, Memphis is a one-trick pony, bro.
I mean, but low key, until Denver got pieces, but they kind of like Joker could die too. So, and Joker's cold.
I'd rather go Joker or die than Ja die.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm gonna stick with the Nuggets at 3. I go Memphis at 4. No. I got Dallas at 4. Dallas is my 4. So I got Memphis at 5. I got Memphis as my 5 seed, and I have the Phoenix Suns at 6. Like you said, I just think Phoenix is a year worse. Yeah. And then you add all the drama.
They blew their opportunity. Last year was their year.
Yeah.
They blew their shot last year for sure. So that was our predictions, but we might be right, we might be wrong. That's the beauty of early season. Nobody really fucking knows. So now it's time for our way too early NBA Finals pick and who will be our NBA champion. Representing the Eastern Conference, I've got Giannis and the Milwaukee Bucks. representing the Western Conference in a grueling 7-game Western Conference final. I think the Golden State Warriors come out. That championship medal will take them over the Los Angeles Clippers, and I think they will host the NBA Finals over the Milwaukee Bucks, and they will defeat the Bucks in 6 games. Steph Curry will win back-to-back Finals MVPs. He will have his 5th ring, and we're going to really have a conversation when that happens. And they will win their 5th championship. I'm going with the Dubs.
Yeah, no, I've been going back and forth with it. I think the Clippers are going to be the NBA champions. I do think the Clippers are going to get it done.
I'm rooting for that to happen because that means I cover NBA Finals again.
Yeah, I'm definitely thinking. I'm looking at the Clippers to get it done. Against Milwaukee. I think we get a Clippers Bucks. Very even though LA is a big market, it's not really market friendly for them. Yeah, it's the Clippers. It ain't the Lakers, but I do think the Clippers will bring another championship to LA. I think the Warriors.
How awesome would that be if we get a Clipper parade for a Laker parade?
that would just be hilarious.
That'd be awesome.
With LeBron there, that would be crazy. But no, I think the Warriors is going to be interesting. But I think in a 7-game series when they do eventually match up, I think the Clippers will be able to edge it out.
It's gonna be entertaining to watch, man. So this is Ball Don't Lie, episode 166. Of course, I said at the beginning of the pod, we're gonna be doing bi-weekly drops until after the Super Bowl. Then after the Super Bowl, we'll be doing weekly. So we will holler at y'all on the first week of November. So yeah, look out for that, man. To follow us on Twitter at Barberchair Scott, at October's on Tay. Follow the Barberchair Network on IG and Twitter at Barberchair Net. Subscribe to the Patreon, patreon.com/Barberchair Network. Visit the bcnet.com. And also, man, Barberchair Shop's coming soon, man. So a lot of basketball season is fully in swing, man. So we're gonna be riding with y'all. We're gonna hit episode 200 this season. So that should be dope. Be our second podcast on this network to hit 200 episodes. So that'll be dope. So as usual, Scott Dante, we'll holler at y'all in 2 weeks, man. We out.